Welcome to another deep dive, everybody. You know how much we love these.
Yeah.
Today's going to be a little different, though.
Oh, how so?
Well, we're still going deep on a specific historical topic.
Okay.
But this time, we're kind of tethered to a specific date.
A specific date. Interesting.
Yeah, February 10th. And we've got this really cool collection of facts and anecdotes. It's like a grab bag of historical events, quirky holidays, even some celebrity birthdays.
Oh, wow. So we're going to be jumping around quite a bit then.
Yeah, exactly. From royal weddings to the first electric arc light in a California theater.
Well, that's quite a range. I'm intrigued.
Me too. It's like a little time capsule all connected by one day on the calendar. Ready to dive in.
Absolutely. Let's see what February 10th has to offer.
Okay, so let's rewind the clock all the way back to 1720. Edmund Halley, the astronomer.
Halley's Comet.
That's the one. He was appointed Astronomer Royal of England on February 10th of that year.
That's fascinating. This was during a time when astronomy was really starting to take off.
Right. And Halley's work on, Halley's Comet helped shift our understanding of the universe.
Exactly. He helped demystify these celestial events that were often seen as, supernatural omens or portents.
Totally. Okay, so moving on, just a few decades later, February 10th, 1763, a pretty major event happens.
1763, let me think. Oh, the Treaty of Paris.
Bingo. The one where France ceded Canada to England.
Yeah, our source had some jokes about, draft picks and nations to be named later.
Right. But seriously, this was a huge AG deal.
Totally. It reshaped the political landscape of North America. You can just imagine the ripple effects.
For sure. Okay, fast forward to 1840, February 10th, and we have a royal wedding.
Oh. Who tied the knot?
Queen Victoria and Prince Albert.
Ah, a classic. I mean, our source makes light of it, but...
Yeah, there's some humor about Prince Albert.
But this was more than just a fairy tale wedding.
Right, it was a strategic alliance, solidifying the monarchy's power and all that.
Exactly. It was a pivotal moment for the British monarchy, especially during a period of such social and political upheaval.
Okay, so it seems like February 10th is a popular day for weddings, because in 1863, we have another one.
Another one? Really?
Yeah, and this one was a bit more unusual, orchestrated by P.T. Barnum himself.
P.T. Barnum. Now, that's a name synonymous with spectacle. What was this wedding all about?
It was the wedding of General Tom Thumb and Levita Warren, both little people.
Oh, wow. So this was very much a public spectacle.
Yeah, definitely. Captured the public's imagination. But it also makes you think about the ethics of entertainment back then,
Absolutely. It's a glimpse into a different era, one with different sensibilities. I mean, it's fascinating, but also...
Yeah, it's a little bit unsettling, too. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Jump ahead to 1879. This one's about technology.
1879. Okay, I'm ready.
Our source mentions the first electric arc light being used to illuminate a California theater.
Wow, now that's a bright idea. Literally, think about it. This wasn't just about stage lighting.
Right. It was the beginning of a whole new era, the era of electricity.
Exactly. Imagine a world suddenly bathed in electric light. It changed everything. The way people lived, worked, even how they experienced entertainment.
And speaking of theater, in 1887, we have another theatrical first. Nathaniel Carr became the first actor to do what?
To act? I mean, what else would an actor do? I'm kidding. What's the real scoop?
He became the first actor to perform in two cities on the same day. A matinee in Boston.
Whoa, hold on. Two cities on the same day? How is that even possible?
And then an evening performance in New York City. It's like the 19th century version of a red-eye flight.
Except instead of catching some sleep, he was delivering lines on stage. That's incredible.
It really speaks to the demands of the profession even back then, and also to the advancements in transportation that made it possible.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've had astronomy, geopolitics, royal weddings, even electric lights. What else does the state have in store for us?
How about the world of communication? February 10th, 1933 marks the day the very first singing telegram was delivered.
A singing telegram? Oh, wow, that's so charming. Although I have to admit, I never really understood the appeal.
I know, right? But it was a novelty. And get this, the first one, it was a commercial jingle.
A jingle. So even back then, advertising found a way to sneak into our personal moments.
It's amazing, right, how February 10th has seen so much innovation. From astronomy to electricity to the way we send messages.
It's like this one date has touched on so many aspects of human history. I'm really curious to see what other surprises we uncover.
Me too. Let's take a short break, and we'll see what else February 10th has in store for us.
Unlock the magic of one-of-a-kind collectibles at Desert Radio AZ Emporium on eBay. Dive into a world of t-shirts, artwork, flags, and beyond. Whether you're after something new or a vintage find, we've got treasures waiting for you. Visit today at Desert Radio AZ Emporium on eBay. Your journey into the unique awaits.
Okay, so we're back and ready to uncover more February 10th gems.
I'm all ears. It's amazing how much history can be packed into a single date.
Right, it's like looking through a kaleidoscope. Each turn reveals a whole new pattern.
I like that analogy. So what's next on our February 10th adventure?
Well, our text source takes us on a bit of a detour now.
A detour. Okay, I'm intrigued.
It starts listing all these quirky holidays celebrated on February 10th.
Quirky holidays. I love those. Let's hear it.
Okay, ready? National Home Warranty Day.
Practical.
National Clean Out Your Computer Day.
Always a good idea. Especially after all this time travel we've been doing.
Right. Okay, and now for the most important one. National Cream Cheese Brownie Day.
Now you're talking. That's a holiday I can get behind.
You know, right?
Ah.
But there's more. National Umbrella Day.
Umbrella Day. That's an interesting one.
I know. Our source actually dives into this whole debate about whether using an umbrella is considered manly or not.
Oh, that's funny. Who knew umbrellas could be so controversial?
Right. It's like this random object becomes a symbol of masculinity or something.
I guess it speaks to those unspoken social rules we have, even about something as simple as staying dry in the rain.
Totally. And speaking of umbrellas, did you know that the first umbrella factory in the U.S. opened on February 10th?
No way. Really? What year was that?
1928. Maybe that's when this whole umbrella debate started heating up.
Could be. Okay, so we've had practical holidays, delicious holidays, even weather-related holidays.
I think it's time to move on to another fun part of February 10th.
Okay, lay it on me. What else do we have?
Birthdays.
Birthdays. A classic. So who are we celebrating today? Anyone I might recognize?
Definitely. Our source lists a whole bunch of notable figures. Let's start with the younger generation.
Sounds good. I'm always curious to learn about the up-and-comers.
Okay, so we have Yara Shahidi turning 25 today. She plays Zoe on Blackish.
Oh, yeah, I've seen her in a few things. She's a talented young actress.
Definitely. And she's using her platform to advocate for social justice and inspire young people, which is awesome.
That's so important. It's great to see young celebrities using their influence for good.
Absolutely. Okay, next up, Emma Roberts is celebrating her 34th birthday.
Emma Roberts. Oh, right. Julia Roberts' niece. I always forget that.
It makes you wonder about family legacies, Like, is there something in the genes that makes certain families drawn to the arts?
That's a fascinating thought. It's like nature versus nurture. How much of it is talent and how much is environment?
Right. It's a question that's been debated forever. Okay, moving on. Elizabeth Banks turns 51 today.
Elizabeth Banks. She's hilarious. I love her in those comedies.
Me too. She's got great comedic timing. Our force even joked that she's one of the few actresses closed on federal holidays.
Haha, that's a good one. It must be nice to have that kind of clout, right?
Yeah, I guess when you're a big-time actress, you can set your own schedule. And speaking of amazing actresses, we can't forget Laura Dern.
Laura Dern. Oh, she's fantastic. What's the occasion?
She's turning 58 today. Our source had a bit of fun, pointing out that actress years are different from real years.
Haha, the classic Hollywood age game. It's funny, but it also makes you think about the pressure on women in Hollywood to defy age.
Right. It's like there's this unspoken expectation that they have to stay youthful forever.
Yeah, which is totally unrealistic and unfair.
Okay, let's move on to someone completely different.
All right, let's jump into the world of news. George Stephanopoulos, the anchor of ABC News, turns 64 today. George Stephanopoulos. Wow, he's been around forever. I feel like I grew up watching him.
He's definitely a familiar face, and our source pointed out his really long last name, just for fun.
Yeah, it's quite a mouthful. Stephanopoulos. It's definitely memorable.
Okay, next up, the world of sports. Greg Norman, a.k.a. the Great White Shark, is celebrating his 70th birthday.
The Great White Shark. Now that's a nickname. He was a force to be reckoned with on the golf course.
He sure was, although our source mentioned he's claiming to be 66. Even golf legends like to shave off a few years, I guess.
Why not? Age is just a number, right? Yeah. Especially when you're a golfing legend.
Exactly. Okay, and now for another sports legend. Olympic swimmer Mark Spitz turns 75 today.
Mark Spitz! 7 gold medals at a single Olympics. Incredible.
Our source made a joke about him maybe trying out for the Winter Olympics.
Good luck with that. I think he'll stick to the pool.
Definitely. Okay, time for some music. Roberta Flack turns 88 today.
Roberta Flack! Now that's a voice that can melt your heart.
Right. Her music is so soulful. Our source did point out that her song, The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, is a bit slow, though.
Huh. Well, it's a classic for a reason. Sometimes those slow jams are the ones that really get to you.
For sure. And last but not least, we have Robert Wagner turning 95 today.
Robert Wagner. Wait, is that number 2 from Austin Powers?
The one and only. He's had such a long career in Hollywood, from classic films to iconic TV shows. He's done it all.
Wow, 95. That's amazing. He's seen so much history unfold, it makes you think about all the changes he's witnessed in the entertainment industry alone.
Right. It's incredible. And it's wild to think that all these people from such different walks of life share the same birthday.
It really does make you ponder the vast spectrum of human experiences. It's like we've been on this whirlwind tour of February 10th.
Right. From historical milestones to quirky holidays to a star-studded birthday bash.
It's been quite a journey, but now I'm curious, what about our own personal connections to February 10th? What about the listeners?
That's a great point. Let's shift the focus inward for a bit. So think about it for a second. What does February 10th mean to you?
Yeah, is it just another day on the calendar, or
Does it hold some kind of personal significance?
maybe it's a birthday, maybe an anniversary?
Or even just a random memory, something that just sticks out in your mind?
It's funny how certain dates can become like little anchors to the past.
Right. Even if it's not some big historical event.
Exactly. It could be something as simple as, the day you got your dog.
Or your first bike. Or the day you aced that big test.
The point is, take a moment to reflect on February 10th in your own life.
See if any hidden connections pop up. Maybe you'll find out you share a birthday with one of the people we talked about.
Oh, that would be cool.
Right. Or maybe there's some weird family story that happened on February 10th.
Like, oh yeah, my great aunt's wedding was on February 10th back in 1947. Something like that.
Exactly. You never know what you might uncover when you start digging into your own personal history.
And that's what's so amazing about history in general. It's not just about memorizing dates and names.
It's about making those connections, seeing how the past shapes the present and how our own individual stories fit into the bigger picture.
Exactly. It's like we've been time traveling through February 10th.
Zipping through different eras.
And now we're bringing it all back home, connecting it to our own lives.
And, as we wrap up this deep dive...
I'm just struck by how much we managed to pack into one day.
I know, right? From royal weddings to singing telegrams to the great umbrella debate.
It really goes to show that any date, even a seemingly ordinary one,
could be a gateway to a whole world of fascinating stories.
Absolutely.
So thanks for joining us on this February 10th adventure.
Hope you learned a thing or two and maybe even had a few laughs along the way.
And hey, if you're feeling inspired, maybe take some time to explore another date.
Yeah, maybe your birthday or
another date that holds some special meaning for you.
You never know what hidden gems you might find.
Exactly. All right, that's it for this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and most importantly, keep those calendars handy.